you mentioned mindset a couple times, and I think that that's something that's being left on the floor right now. Is that the mindset of the leadership needs to have a much more open view of
Yes.
what the possibilities are, and that's when I spend my time with the CEOs. I spend a lot of time with that alone before we even start digging into what the AI is, of being open to be getting things wrong and to making mistakes and experimenting, and that's what
You
it
know,
lets you do.
and that's a good point. You asked something I didn't answer, which is the personal skill set of employees. And I think that comes back to this, like, part of it is insane curiosity. Like the people that are going to be successful are the people that are going to want to try things, not actually for any reason other than they're interested. And by the way, this is definitely the most interesting time like humans have ever had. Like it's just so crazy. And so you're like constantly, like yesterday, I mean, this shows you how much of a problem I have, and I'm too obsessed. But it's like 11:30 a.m., 11:30 at night. I'm like coming back from the vet because my dog had a thing. He's fine now. And I'm like in the drive-through because I need dinner yet. And I'm asking ChatGPT voice mode. My side hustle is trying to, I love science and physics and stuff. I'm like, what would Immanuel Kant have thought of quantum physics? And I had like a 20-minute conversation about it, right? Now, I tell you that story partially because that's a ridiculous example of how nerdy I am, but like also it's just curiosity. It's like, oh, that's cool. Let me ask, like, can it do, by the way, it's really good at things like that. And I'm like, can it do it? Try things, like constantly try new
Sure.
things. People aren't used to that curiosity. And then the other one I think ties to the frustration point, which is grit, where it's like, okay, I'm going to keep trying. And it didn't work, but I'm going to try again tomorrow. I'm going to try again the next day. And I think those two skills, which have always been important, they're becoming vital.
Yeah. So let's bring it back to customer service a little bit because this is a burning question that I have. So your brand and many other brands are very, at least publicly, very human focused. You want to bring the human back into the interaction. You want to make sure the human is super powered. You want to have a human involved, and that's been kind of the way you've gone forward. But given our path here and having inevitably AI agents are going to be more involved in the customer service stream. How do you square that circle of having this brand of being, the best human thing versus, delivering AI in the way that companies need it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I don't think we all fully understand the answer yet, but I think there's a couple things. One is like what is AI not yet fully great at, which is like it's human relationship building, right? It's not, and it's even unclear what that even would mean. Like an AI is building a relationship with you, but then on the other end, should it just be an AI too? Is an AI building a relationship with another AI? That stuff like is still pretty science fiction, right?
Well,
So
South Korea has entire generations of women that have AI boyfriends
well,
exclusively.
that is the companion thing, which is obviously not a business topic, is
Right.
unique. There's no doubt about that. But in a business relationship context, if you're in sales or customer success or something like that, you still have a lot of value because that's the thing people really want. And I'd argue they may want it more because the everything else being digital will create like it'll almost feel so good. It's kind of like when COVID was in the thick of it and it was like you get to have your first in-person like meeting or coffee or whatever. And it's like, oh my God, this is so great, right? And we're gonna have some feeling like these human interactions are gonna be really valuable. And one of the things that prevents the human interactions and us having that time is that we do a lot of rote stuff, updating data, sending information out, right? Blah, blah, blah. And so the more we make that self-service or automated or AI driven, the better. Now, what's interesting is people have tried to do this for a long time pre-AI, right? Like we all know you call some customer service thing, you have like an 800 number and it's like 7 hours before you can talk to a human, right? Or you go to a website and it's like, hey, you try to get the phone number. It's like, no, we want you to navigate this Byzantine FAQ thing first, right?
Right. I love entering my information 27 times.
Oh, and
That's the best
totally.
part of
So
it. Yeah.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
And we created these self-service technologies, IVRs, websites, whatever, and they suck pre-AI. But what's interesting is they can get quite good post-AI. We have to be careful and thoughtful because again, like just like you said with employees, if you put too much out there and it doesn't really work well, the customer then gets cynical about it and then they don't use it anymore. So we have to pick our shots even more, I think, for customers. You have to be a little more careful than with employees because employees are a little more resilient to try things. And so there, though, you can say, you know what, these use cases can be done through AI chat. These ones can't. I was talking to one of the vendors that like the CEO of a vendor that makes one of the big ones for like support software. And he's like, look, honestly, if you're a B2C customer, a B2C vendor, and you're trying to like update your subscription for your like clothing subscription or whatever, support through AI works really well for those basic things. Update my password, update my credit card information, where's my shipment? And he's like, they get 80% AI resolution rate, meaning AI can solve 80%. But he's like, when you go to B2B, like a company selling another company, these things are complex. And he's like, 20% is good. And so what that means is don't like force your customers into the 20%, and like even if it's not a fit, like give them that optionality. Let them get to a human quickly, things like that. And so I think that's the thing. Be careful. The human part of this still matters a lot to the customer and is still really important in B2B because the situations are pretty complicated. AI can assist. It's still not ready fully to do everything.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that there's two unforgivable sins that I see right now in AI implementation for customer service. The first one is slapping on an LLM bot onto your web page and having the LLM bot have no idea what web page it's on or what the company
Oh,
does.
dude, that's the worst. Yeah, I've seen that.
That's the first one. And if anybody's done that, fix that now. Like run a notebook, put all your data in there, make sure that the LLM understands your business. But the second one, and you mentioned it, and I think is not done well, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement, is the handoff. Is so early and often don't let the customer get frustrated and start swearing at the chatbot before you hand it off to an agent. And then the other thing that I think happens is hand it off to somebody that is empowered to fix and improve things or make a sale or make an appointment or whatever. Don't hand it off to the lowest common denominator rep if you do have a handoff from AI.
I love that. That's a great idea. Yeah, that's awesome. I one
So
one
we're
Oh,
go
one,
ahead.
I just said one other comment that's related to this, and I'm not trying to make a commercial for you, Jason, but I will say like this is the biggest human change management exercise ever. And so I think for companies, what's going to be interesting is the technology matters. Like, Gainsight has all this AI technology. You can buy developer AI technology from Microsoft or slash GitHub or Cursor or whatever. But changing people's behavior takes like human change management, consulting, all these things, probably what you're helping your clients with. I just take developers as an example. The ROI of developers using AI is off the charts. And yet you got a lot of organizations where they've given licenses to everyone, and you have like 20-30% meaningful use. I don't mean like they use it every now and then. I'm like truly using it. And the other people, it's like you're not going to get there just by like giving them access. You need change management strategy. Like it's weird because I think consulting in this area is going to be really important.
Yeah, and thanks for I do appreciate the commercial, Nick.
Yeah,
But one of the things that
true.
I kind of Trojan horse in my engagements is one is I get people interested with the AI because they have to do that. That's an absolute burning pain, right? But this the second thing, and we talked about it already, is which is almost as important or equally or maybe more important, is fix the mindset. Think about
Yeah.
this, think about how you're approaching it. But the third one, and this is something that I learned very well from Amazon and have kept it through, is that you need to make sure your culture is designed to be able to handle this. So to be
Yes.
able to handle the change management needs to have a culture, a core team, a singular mission, and the bullshit needs to stop now. And it needs to be, we're getting real. And I think that that's an important thing that I think a lot of companies, particularly ones that haven't really paid any attention to culture, like real companies, they're like, wait a minute, we don't have the right culture to be able to take this next path. So that's equally as important. So all three of those things work together to get this going. But it's all so fresh.